Now you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. First, we would like to emphasize that Clinicrowd does not provide any medical advice. For any medical advice regarding how to manage your disease, regarding medication doses and everything, please consult with your doctors. Any other question, we will be more than happy to answer and help as much as we can. So it all started with our friend Dan that was diagnosed with Parkinson's about 5 years ago. And since then, as a friend, we start beginning searching for solutions for his Parkinson's. Parkinson's, it's a chronic and progressive movement disorder. Symptoms continue and worsen over time. The cause for the Parkinson is a protein called alpha-synuclein that exists in the bodies and brain of all of us. For some reason, in Parkinson patients, it starts clumping in the brain and kills the cells that produce the dopamine in the brain. And it kills them cell by cell. That's why it's a progressive disease. The more time, the more you get worse. As for today, there is no definitive test for Parkinson. You're not going to the doctor or he's doing blood test or any other test that said you got Parkinson. You go to the neurologist, he said, come, go, 3 steps here, 3 steps that. Okay, you got Parkinson, and that's it. So the alpha-synuclein is for sure is the cause for the Parkinson. So during our searches for alternative and effective solution, we learned about the research of Professor Segal from Taoyuan University that investigated mannitol, off-the-shelf non-caloric sweetener that minimized the collapse of the alpha-synuclein protein. It's now important to say that mannitol is approved by the FDA more than 65 years, that is good for human consumption, is low caloric sweetener, it has a very low glycemic value, so it's also allowed for people with diabetes. It is produced from bacteria, yeast, fungi, and many other plants, and also synthetically. There is no difference between the natural produced and the synthetically produced. It's commonly used for candies, ice cream, diet fruit, diet drinks, and chewing gums. And you have actually no side effects besides if you take more than 0.7 ounce or 20 grams per day, it can cause some laxative effects. Mannitol is also approved as a medication by the FDA. In this time, you get it IV. It means directly to your vein. It's for something in the head. If you get injured in the head, you get mannitol. And for this purpose, you get many other side effects, some of them very, very frightening. So if you look in the internet for side effects and for mannitol and you see all these frightening things, this is regarding the mannitol as a medication and not the mannitol as food supplement. So Professor Segal decided to investigate the neurological disease, among them Parkinson, and he decided to concentrate on the alpha-synuclein, which is the cause for Parkinson. In the first stage, he took the alpha-synuclein in a test tube, and by trial and error, he tried difficult materials on the mannitol and on the alpha-synuclein, and by accident, he found that mannitol has proven that it can prevent the clumping of the alpha-synuclein in the test tube. After this success, he kept on with the mannitol. He start with 2 tubes with fruit flies that were engineered to carry the human symptoms of Parkinson's. 1 tube they got mannitol, the other tube they didn't got mannitol. Those that got the mannitol flew all over the tube and looked healthy, and the other one were on the ground, not moving and looked sick. And when he examined the brain, he found that the amount of alpha-synuclein in the brains of those that got the mannitol was reduced by 70%, 70. So he moved to the next stage, which is mice. For this purpose, he joined hands with professor from California University, San Diego, that is known for his Parkinson mice, and the result with mice was more or less the same like in the fruit flies. Mice that got the mannitol look healthy and move all over the cages, and those that didn't receive mannitol look sick and sleep on the ground of the cages. In this case, he wanted to move on to human research, but unfortunately, no one wants to finance this kind of experience because the Parkinson medication market is about $5 billion a year, and mannitol you can buy over the counter for only $140 per year. And today, it was the first time that someone really focuses on the cause for Parkinson, which is the alpha-synuclein. Today, Parkinson medication concentrate only on symptom relief, but not on the cause. That's the first time somebody concentrate on the cause. So for us, at this stage, it was very easy to tell our friend, come on, take the mannitol. But we have decided to take it one step further. Professor Segal told us that after he didn't get the grant for the research, he published his finding in a very non-biological newspaper. And then he started getting emails from people all around the globe. First one was a professor from University Cornell in the United States that said that he was diagnosed with Parkinson 7 years ago. By chance, he got to Danny Segal's articles. He saw that there is no safety issue and he got nothing to lose. And he started taking 1 teaspoon of mannitol in the morning, 1 teaspoon in the evening. And after 7 months, his Parkinson's symptoms were almost gone. And then he got email from additional 20 people all around the globe, more or less the same story. All of them were diagnosed with Parkinson. By chance, they got to the article. They saw they got nothing to lose because it's safe. It's recognized by the FDA as GRAS, generally recognized as safe. So they start taking, and all of them report improvement in the Parkinson graded symptoms. So at this stage, it was very easy for us to tell Danny, come on, bro, I want you to give it a try. And they hope it will help. But we decided that we couldn't remain indifferent to the flank of the Parkinson patient all over the world. No way there is a safe and maybe even good solution for Parkinson, and the 10 million Parkinson patients worldwide will not know about it. And we have decided to launch a platform, protected platform, that we make information accessible about solution to disease that the pharma companies don't investigate due to lack of financial incentive, and then use the wisdom of the crowd to test the efficacy of those solutions for improving disease or disease prevention. And in return, we'll share all the insights that we'll gain through the platform with the Parkinson community worldwide. So the first stage, we met with the neurologist of our friend, and we told her the story. And she said, first thing she said, right, the Parkinson medication market is about 5 million a year, but medication treat only symptoms. Here, for the first time, it seems that there is something that target the alpha-synuclein, which is the cause for the Parkinson. So and also she said that a good neurologist see a Parkinson patient once in 6 months, 9 months, sometime a year. There is not many things to do, mainly change medication doses, but not more than that. So we decided that we build a platform, and on top of that, we'll build a tool for the Parkinson patient to manage their disease. And as of today, we build a community. If you go to our website and you register to the community, you can see many statistics about our community. And for the moment, we have about 1,500 anonymous Parkinson patients from 42 different countries. And we gain this without doing any marketing activities. It all goes from ear to mouth to ear. We start with a group of 25 patients that are doing a dancing group. We told them about the research of Professor Segal, and they asked a lot of questions, and then they decided that they are going for that. They fill up the initial questionnaire and then start taking Mannitol. We are not selling Mannitol in order to remain objective, because if we'll sell the Mannitol, people may say that we have interest that will have good results. So we are not selling it. Everyone can buy it over the counter. We can tell you in our website, we're telling where other people are telling us that they bought the Mannitol, but we are not selling it. So today we have people from 42 countries. It goes from ear to mouth, from mouth to ear. And today, if we are looking at our community, we see that the ratio between men and women is 2 to 1, the same margin that is the global statistics. So it means that our community mirrors the global Parkinson community, 33% women, 65% men. Also, when you are going to the date of the average age of diagnosis in Parkinson, it's worldwide 62. In our community, also the average age of diagnosis is 62. We can tell that the youngest one is 25 years old, that was diagnosed at the age of 15, and the oldest participant is at the age of 96 and was diagnosed at the age of 75. We saw in the world that the youngest person that was diagnosed with Parkinson is a baby at the age of 2 years old. Also, when we are looking at the most popular medications, we see that normally the average in the world, Parkinson patient takes about 2.5 medications, the average per day. In our community, also the average is 2.5. And we also have 11% that are not taking no medications. And we also have one person that takes 23 different medications per day to control his Parkinson symptoms. If you go to our website, to our community, you can see many other statistics about pain, about loss of sense of smell, about many other things as well. Now, when we're analyzing the first result from the 76 Parkinson patients that took Mannitol 6 months or more, and we choose 6 months not by accident, today we know that the placebo effect on Parkinson patients takes about 6 months. So in order to get rid of this effect, we decided to take results for people that are taking 6 months or more, and we see that 88% of them regain their sense of smell. And this is really something, because there is no other evidence for any Parkinson medication or treatments that patients regain their sense of smell. Besides that, 86% improved facial impression, and also our friend Danny improved his facial perception. He had a fully masked face of Parkinson patient that today has a baby face. Also, 80% improved gait abnormality, reduce of drooling severity, and 69% false stop, which are the main reason for hospitalization in Parkinson patients, and a lot of other things improved as well. At the bottom line, 56% reported improvement in their Parkinson's symptoms, where the average drug effectiveness is normally 2 to 33%. This means we have a double effect, and this is amazing. For instance, the most famous medication for lower cholesterol affect only 1 in 50, means 2%, and we got 56%, and this is really amazing. We saw that patients show greater improvement the longer they took Mannitol. As you know, Parkinson is a very personal disease. It affects differently each and every person. Some medication affect differently each and every person. So we see some people that the effect was immediately, where other people start getting the effect after 7 or 8 months or so. So you have to be very patient about that. The best improved is a female, Parkinson stage 5 at the age of 67, taking Mannitol since January 27. She fill up 12 follow-up so far. And if you look at the statistics, we see that the improvement were at any age group, at any age since diagnosis. That was a really surprise for us. We didn't thought that it will improve people that lives more than 15 years with Parkinson. So this is a real good things for us. Now, is Parkinson is preventable? Because we know that Parkinson's, the alpha-synuclein starts clumping in the brains and the bodies of Parkinson patient sometimes 10 and 15 years before you're diagnosed with Parkinson. So, because the Mannitol prevent the clumping against the alpha-synuclein, if people will start taking Mannitol preventively before they diagnose with Parkinson, maybe we will be able to prevent it. And I can tell you from my personal experience, because my father lives with Parkinson about 15 years already, and 3 of my uncles also had Parkinson in the past. So I started taking Mannitol preventively, and after 5 months, I regained my sense of smell, which might be one of the symptoms, early symptoms for Parkinson's. And we know that losing the sense of smell happens sometimes 10, 12 years before you diagnose with Parkinson. Other symptoms are trouble with sleeping, constipation, changing handwriting. You can have one of them, all of them, or none of them. And we know when you are already diagnosed with Parkinson, 60 to 80% of your cells in the brains are already dead, and there is nothing to do. So we can recommend for your families, if they think that you are in risk because they did a DNA check or because they have a first degree relative with Parkinson, they got nothing to lose by taking Mannitol preventively. They can go to our website, fill up the questionnaire, and find what the amount they need to take for their Parkinson. Today, preventing is a really big issue for government, for HMOs, for everybody. And in 2016, the biggest part of the budget was for preventive medicine, $755 million from prevention. You can go to our website, all the information is there. You go to clinicrowd.info. You can find information about everything that I'm telling you here. You can see the research, the background. You can see movies. You can see Professor Segal telling everything that I told you here today. You can go to the disease prevention at the bottom of the page and choose your disease, Parkinson, or Alzheimer, or any other disease that you are suffering from. The process is very simple. You select Parkinson from the disease, you fill out the initial registry, then after a month or a couple of weeks after you start filling out follow-up registries, and then you access your personal and community reports. You can track your disease or see the community disease. We have a very, very developed frequently asked question. We answer almost, I think, every question that someone ever asked us. You got all the answer here under the fact, or you can email info@clinicrowd.info, and Gila, which is with us today, will be more than happy to answer each and every question if you don't want to search the fact. I'll answer one question that everybody asks. What is the required dose of mannitol? So each and every person has a different amount of mannitol per day that you need to take. If you take less than the required dose or more than the required dose, it won't get the same effect like getting the dose according to the mice experience by Professor Segal. So once you fill up the initial registry, you'll get to a page with the formula that you can get the number which is your personal dose, and it's calculated according to your weight. So any weight change require a change also in the mannitol dose as well. But once you fill up the questionnaire, the initial questionnaire, you'll get to this page where you can buy it and what is your recommended dose. So a lot of people are asking us, what is the catch? Why are you doing this? It's too good to be true. So the truth that this is the truth. We are doing it. We want to do a social impact. We don't want to make revenues on the back of Parkinson patient or any other patient. We want to make a change. We want to do good. We hope that use of data collect to improve well-being of Parkinson patient. And we believe this information should be accessible by patients. There are a lot of materials on the shelf that can be used for disease prevention or disease treatment. And so we are not affiliated with any Mannitol manufacturer. We are not selling Mannitol. We don't care about Mannitol. The only thing that we care about is patient and their well-being. So there is no catch from our side. It's all for good faith. Next step that we would like to develop is to make the follow-up much easier using a cellular application for mask face tracker with selfie with your mobile phone, thermometers with your phone, length and stress, step tracker, sound meter, because one of the things that are improved with Mannitol is the sound become louder, and we can gain in our database a lot of unique and untaped data about the disease, and maybe we can get a new insight about how to do good for it. Another thing that we would like to add is also voice-based questionnaire for people that our technology is a bit difficult for them. So you can read the question, or you can listen to the question, you can answer by your voice. For instance, for poster, normal poster, please say one. Once you say one, this is your answer, and let's go to our database and install there. At the end of the day, if we look about the different, actually clinical trials cost a lot of money. It costs between 300 million to $3 billion. It takes 12 to 15 years. It's a limit geography. If an American medication company wants for a clinical trial, she do it in our area, Boston area, New York area, Los Angeles area, London area, whatever. And it's a clean data. It's a controlled trial. While the clinical trial, you get a lot of attention from nurses, from doctors, from everyone. So there are a lot of research that shows that the same medication doesn't affect the same during the clinical trial and a few years after, where you are not under the control of the trial. And of course, it's closed. Our registry, our crowd registry, it's a cost-effective. It costs nothing almost. You can see results as early as 12 months, and it's ongoing. We never stop. We keep on validating the data all the time, and of course, it's global. It's not a limit geography. We are doing it today on 42 different countries in 5 different continents. So it's a much, I think, for my opinion, it's a much more accurate data. And it's real life data. You keep on with your life, you're doing your sport, you're doing everything you can. So it's a real life data. It reflects better the effect of the medication on your disease. And the large number and is flexible and extendable. It means if you want to add question, remove question, or to target a specific audience, it's very easy to do it in means of geography, age, or any other groups that you want to target. At the end of the day, we build a win-win-win-win situation for everybody. Actually, patients can get a clear record on their disease. It means that if you're a patient, you can manage your disease. For instance, if we go again to the first question, if at the first questionnaire you answer 1 and in the follow-up questionnaire you answer 4, it means that your situation had been bad by +3. If at the initial questionnaire you answer 3, at the follow-up 1, it means you improved by -2. It means that you are improved. And then you can go to see my personal score zone. You can track your own disease from the initial to previous to each one. See how much you improve or worsen. Green is improved. The -5 is better than -1. -7 is better than -2. And if you got plus, it means that you got worsened. So you can see by families, common symptom, if you improved or worsened, motor activity, tremors, etc., etc. And you can drill down to each and every symptom and see how you improve in drooling, in memory problem, in sleep, in pain, each and handwriting, and each and every symptom you can track from month to month or from the beginning to the end and see how you are doing with your personal disease. It's an amazing tool for you. Also, you can see on the graph your progress during the whole period from the first survey to the last survey. And at any moment, you can compare your score to your community fellows. For instance, if you're with Parkinson stage 2, you can see that your score is 47. You see that your age group and gender is 89. It means that you are better than your age group and gender. You can see that if you compare to the USA, you are worsened because the average in the USA is 34. You can compare to people that are doing Tai Chi or people that are taking specific medication like Duplicare or any other medications that you want. And you also get a graph, a trend graph, what's happened with your disease. If it's a green graph, it means that you are improved. If it's a red graph, it means that you are getting worse. So everything is here for you. So actually the patient can maintain a clear record of their disease and you can test which treatment works best for you. You don't have to take Mannitol if you want to test medication or if you want to see if yoga help your Parkinson or specific food or something. You just fill up the questionnaire, then you start the treatment or the activities. You fill up, follow-up questionnaire, and you see how it affects your disease. And of course, you compare the status with community member. And once you go to your doctor, you can print up the report and bring it to your doctor. And now the doctor can get a full report on the patient disease progression. You can see each and every symptoms. When the doctor asks you what happened during the last 6 months, you don't always remember everything. Now you can print the report and the doctor can get better decisions about your disease based on evidence from your report. And Clinicrowd in the middle, we create valuable data asset and we can get insight about the disease and share it with patients as well. So it's a win-win-win situation for everybody, and that's what we are doing here. Next steps, we are going to add also Alzheimer, with two other researchers. We're doing only solutions that have a scientific-based research with a professor and with a doctor that with us. For Alzheimer, we get the cinnamon and also permanent. And we are going to add also diabetes type 2. We already add gout disease with cherries in our website. You can always read the scientific-based background, ask any questions that you want, and at the end of the day, manage your better your disease. So if we would like to summarize, it is important to note that there is no two people with the same exact Parkinson's symptoms. And so is the effect of mannitol. Mannitol affects differently each and every person, so you have to be patient. There is no magic and only patience. It's the key element for success. Some of them report, some participants report improvement within a short time. Some of them it takes longer, but at the end of the day, it affects each and every patient. And even if there is no change, it's also an improvement for Parkinson patient because the disease is in progression all the time. So no change is good result as well. And for us, because there is no financial incentive to investigate mannitol in a clinical trial for pharma companies, this is the only way to understand the efficacy of mannitol through your reports. So that's why we need your help to help other Parkinson patients as well. The power of the crowd might, in this case, influence the life of all of us, of all the Parkinson community. And good things takes time. It's not a magic. I want to emphasize again that Clinicrowd does not provide any medical advice. For any medical advice regarding how to manage your disease or about medication doses or any other doubts that you have, please consult with your doctor. We'll be happy to answer any other question. Gila is here with us and she is in charge for answering everyone. I would like to show you a small movement. This is Professor Segal. This is the fly's tube. Okay, so this is it. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any question whatsoever, don't hesitate, please, to contact us. And maybe more than happy. Our only intention is to do good for Parkinson patients, and that's what we are doing it. And we would like to gain insight with you and try to beat this terrible disease. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Gila is with us here today, and she will be more than happy to answer all of your questions. And Gila, you want to say something?
Hi everybody. I guess I know you. I out on the communication and advocacy relations. Um, you can feel free to email me or call me. I'm gonna share my email again on the chat room and my phone as well. I'm on Eastern time, so feel free at any time, 24/7. I'll be happy to answer any questions. We at Clinicrowd will be happy to conduct webinars or come to your community and talk about Mannitol and share our wisdom.